And we're live. Morgan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Excited to do another YouTube live show for you guys. I'm kind of liking these Friday afternoons. It like kind of kicks off the weekend a little early. Good weekend vibes. Get ourselves ready to go.
Yeah, I definitely feel you. I'm ready for the weekend though, so yeah.
I hear you there. And hopefully you guys are too. Drop any comments or questions you got going in the...
Comments down below.
I've got a little echo that's killing me here. Hold on. Anyway, we have a lot of great things going on today, guys. We are going to get into things we've been doing from a training perspective to keep ourselves interested and engaged. We're also going to talk a lot about, things that hopefully you guys can be doing to make sure you're feeling really good with your own training. There aren't really races. The London Marathon just got canceled. There's just all this crazy stuff that's happened. And yet here we are. We still got to keep training and moving. So we're going to share some of that. And before we get into those things, we've got some very cool things up our sleeves to help you out. We are going to be doing our live 30-day challenge in the end of August. We haven't gotten to do one yet this year. And
I know.
It's been a while because we've been doing this program for years and our runners absolutely love it. We know you'll love it too. So it's going to start Sunday, August 30th. All you need to do is to download our app and get into that 30-day challenge by becoming a premium member. That's right. This is a premium program. So you want those premium results, you got to get in there. But to sweeten the deal, we've got a little flash sale going for our lovely YouTube runners. There's a link in the description of this video where you could sign up for $99 for an annual membership. Normally $119.99. Pretty sweet. Take advantage, and then you can join us for the live challenge. Pretty good, right?
Yeah, and what better timing to do a challenge than right now?
What better challenge to do timing than right now? Absolutely, right? Jeremy says, is your roommate going to join us? That all depends. One of my roommates is asleep on the floor. You can see Nora did her 7 miles this morning. She did her burpees already. Yeah, Nora's been turning into a trail dog, which we'll get into a little bit because I'm excited to share some of that stuff. But let's start things off, Morgan. You have been a competitive runner yourself. You had a really fun schedule planned this year. Do you want to start just by talking what you were planning on doing and what it's kind of turned into?
Yeah, had a lot of early races. I had this was the year that everything was going to plan itself out. And of course, that's the way that things work, right? I had Boston in April. I was supposed to be doing the Speed Project, which is this kind of crazy, kind of cool, not obstacle race, team race, where one person runs at a time. You're in a van. You run from Santa Monica Pier in Los Angeles and run to the Las Vegas sign in Vegas. And that got moved and now it's canceled, but now we're doing it. They call it the Speed Project DIY. Mm-hmm. So it's still going to get to go on. So I still get to run with my teammates, but just virtually, of course. And then what else? I had a couple other smaller races, but we're actually still waiting to hear. I have one race that's
Javelina.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, the Javelina 100. This would be my first 100 miler. So yeah. That'll be interesting. Though we have not heard word if it is canceled or not. It is for right now. It is technically, knock on wood, still on. So yeah. It's in October. So that's gotta
be tough to be training for something, especially that long, that you may or may not know is is happening. Do I really want to? Yeah, it's do I want to run for 5 hours this weekend or not? I don't know. And maybe doing it for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's talk about the Speed Project because some of you guys out there may have done a Ragnar relay.
Ragnar. Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, if you guys have done Ragnar, drop that in the comments below. The Speed Project.
Please give me tips.
Is it's like a Ragnar. It's like a punk version of Ragnar. It's just the way it started. It's no holds barred. There's no fixed
Route.
distances or route that anyone has to run. It's
Mm-hmm.
literally point to point. And
Yep.
your team decides how long each individual leg is, right? You just
Yeah.
figure, what was your team going to do?
Oh, I don't know that we had like an official setup yet. But I volunteered myself to like run the 3 a.m. shift and things like that. I remember because it's, so it's going to be fun. But I know that the team that won last year, it was a team of all guys. I want to say it was like a Nike group, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. They each ran like really short, quick intervals. I think it was like maybe a mile or less, like all out mile. And they just kept like going and going and going. Because normally like in Ragnar, you see like 5 miles, 6 miles, 7 miles, and you have to like kind of run easy. But they got there really quick. I wish I remember what the time was, but yeah.
It's gnarly.
Yeah, so it's there's no route that you have to use. You start here, you stop here. They don't care how you get to point A to point B. Just one person's running at all times. So
Incredible. And it's like people aren't just like, well, maybe some people are cruising this thing. I imagine that you guys were going to try to go fast.
yeah, we have a pretty decent team. We were all girls team, which was pretty cool.
That is cool.
So, but yeah, it will get to happen eventually, and we're still gonna go compete. This year they're doing it because there's no route and there was no specific distance. The way that they're going to do it is the team has 31 hours, which is like the fastest time that's ever run. You have 31 hours to get as much distance as you can.
Yeah.
So
wow.
as long as one person's just running at a time, you start and stop and you tally up the distance and see.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
doing it
So
that
you
way.
guys are coordinating it. So like, how do you know when one person
Yeah.
stops and the next person starts? This is for the virtual version.
Yeah, that's a lot of scheduling. Luckily, a lot of us are here in San Francisco. I know one person won't be, so I think we can like kind of meet up ish, distantly, of course.
A
I
little
think there's like
elbow touch for the next
yeah,
person or
like
something.
kind of yeah. So I'm not on that scheduling team, but I think Coach Mikey is part of that scheduling team. So
Coach Mikey is not on that scheduling team. I asked him, and he's like, I have no idea what I'm running. It's like someone else is doing that.
Great. So he passed that off. That actually makes me feel a lot better that he's not behind that. So Coach Mikey is watching, it is what it is.
I know.
But yeah. So it should be an interesting race. This will be a cool, like a different kind of virtual race. It's not just like, okay, I'm going to go run a 5K. I'm going to go run 13 miles, right? So yeah, it'll be fun and interesting.
A little bit different for sure.
Yeah.
So just checking out the YouTube comments here. Green Gypsy Bird says, hey, I'm signed up for the Javelina 100 too. Well, good luck there. Hopefully you'll see us. I wanted to go out and cheer both you and Holly on, but obviously with this year, we shall see what happens. Kelly Benedetti says, hey, Ragnar reached the beach twice, so fun. We have Rachel says, I've done all kinds of Ragnars, trail, 12-person, and 6-person. I love them. I did a 6-person ultra team, the Napa Ragnar, with some run buddies out here. It ended up being about 31 miles of running for me. And,
oh, wow. Okay.
That 24, 30-hour period. That was real.
Yeah.
That was a lot. Oh, man.
Yeah, and I was like kind of excited. I was like, oh, well, training for that and like practicing running at weird random times and like at night will get me ready for Javelina, which is, in the desert. It's in Arizona, if you don't know. And the route from Santa Monica to Las Vegas, desert. So I was like, oh, it'll be great training for it. So that was
the thinking. Yeah, right. And you were going to do Boston this year.
And Boston. Yeah, they were kind of close.
They were very close.
They were very close within like 3 weeks, I think. But once again, great training for the 100-miler. So
yeah,
I was really ready for a little Boston redemption this year. So
totally. So before I share with you guys a little bit what I've been up to, we have a few other cool things happening in this video. For you guys remember, a couple weeks ago, we put out what we thought was a really fun video. asking the question in debate style, who works harder, road runners versus trail runners? And today we are going to reveal the final vote tally based on the comments. The loser of this debate, whether Morgan or myself, is going to have to do 50 burpees on camera. And that's going to go down about 20 minutes. Morgan, I don't know how you're feeling about things, but I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm definitely not warmed up, and I don't think that I will need to be warmed up for what's about to go down.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah.
Bringing that flavor.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like those athletes that talk a big game beforehand, and yet they need to back it up. So we'll
pretty
see.
confident in the fact that I was the one that did the tallying. So unless there's some last minute submissions, I feel like it might be okay. I'm ready to take a little
birdie
relaxing
told you,
break.
huh?
Yeah.
Well, either way, in about 20 minutes, we're going to find out who won, and the loser is going to have to do their burpees as we go through here. So we'll see. And then the other little heads up, guys, we have a very cool live 30-day challenge. For those of you guys in our community, you've done this before. Our 30-day challenge is our flagship program, running, strength, mobility, run form. It's actually the perfect program to do right now when you're just looking for a
little bit of everything.
Yeah, reset, establish good habits, and build yourself up to handle all crazy virtual speed projects and happily in the hundreds you want to do in the future. It's such a great thing. And again, we're doing a little flash sale for you guys, our YouTube community. It's a link in the description. You can sign up for an annual membership to our app for $99, and you can access all of our live workout, all of our audio workouts, our challenges, our race programs, our strength programs. You can do follow-along workouts with Morgan. Pretty darn cool. She can yell at you while you do burpees as well.
Yeah.
What's better than that?
I'm really good at that, so yeah.
Yeah, right?
As you'll soon find out.
So, for me, it's been an interesting year, Morgan. I was planning on traveling a lot. I was going to go to Boston. I was going to go to probably New York and Chicago this fall. Boston got moved, so I was going to go to that this fall. I had my heart set on running the BAA 5K and doing some other shorter races. That part of the race thing hasn't worked, but the running on my own has been pretty good. I've actually, my schedule and commute schedule, I don't have to get up as early. I'm like sleeping an hour more night, and that has actually turned into better running for me. So I'm riding that. That's been feeling good.
Me too. The zero commute life is real nice.
The zero commute life is not too bad, right? And we have been just trying to play with different things. I haven't done too many virtual events other than just keeping accountable with my running buddies, Mario Frioli and Michael Zinski. We are all coaches, and we've been running together mostly in person for like the last 5 years. And we'd always jump in on each other's training. And honestly, that's been huge. Mario writes workouts for us. We all kind of like trade in a text message how things go. And that little group has gotten me fit. So I'm really glad that I'm doing that, because I don't think I would be doing the workouts I'm doing right now if that wasn't in place. So shout out to my boys.
It's nice to have an accountability buddy at this time, for sure.
Huge.
I completely agree.
Yeah. What about you? Who's been your accountability buddy?
I have my now fiance Grady, who I moved in with in here, and we get each other out the door most days, which is nice. The downside of working from home is, we work from home. I don't have to leave my apartment. So sometimes, especially now, it looks beautiful and sunny out here in San Francisco, but if the real San Franciscans know that our summer doesn't start until September, and we get like a fake fall right now. So it's been kind of like cloudy and overcast, and makes you just kind of want to sleep in. So, and if anyone knows my background, I am a flat road runner at heart. Was born on the track, And so whenever Grady says that he wants to go out and run some really steep hills that are right next to us, I'm like, all right, like, I guess that's what we're doing today. And it's been actually a really big help. We've been trying to go up to Tahoe most weekends and do some
Yeah.
altitude running. And that's been huge because you come back and you're like, oh, these like hills that are next to my house are nothing, and I feel great. So I definitely feel like I've actually become a stronger hill and trail runner during quarantine. So
During this
that's
time,
yeah. Hmm.
which is going to be helpful for that 100-mile run for sure.
Yes. Luckily, not a lot of elevation in that 100 miles. I think it's only 8,500 feet. So that should feel really good, actually.
Yeah, which is a lot, but over 100 miles isn't that bad. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
You're just going for 100 miles. It's craziness.
Just running.
Yeah, that's pretty darn far, Morgan. That is pretty darn far.
Super.
Oh man. So what do we got here in the comments? N Slabby says, "Hey, Coach Nate Morgan, thank you for all that you do for us. Much appreciated. Thank you." Nancy says, "Hood to Coast is on her bucket list." Marshall earlier said, "Hood to Coast is the mother of all relays." That one sells out in like 30 seconds. I don't know how people get into it.
I've seen that one. It looks like something I want on my bucket list as well, too. So,
Kelly says, "I would totally drive to Boston for a run with Coach Nate." Well, Kelly, we'll try to make it happen. Hopefully next April, but we will see, right? And then Nancy also said, "Hey, the CIM marathon apparently is still on." So
it is, yeah. That's I've seen a lot of my friends. If you guys don't know, CIM is the California International Marathon. It's a really big Boston qualifier out here. It's a decently flat course. It's up near Sacramento, and there's a lot of Olympic qualifying times at that race. And it's just like one of the bigger ones in this area. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people still training for it. And so that's in December. It's like the 10th-ish or something like that, a couple weeks before Christmas. So, hey, who knows? But
who knows, right?
Exactly.
Well, we want to get into your guys' questions about, motivation, different problems you're dealing with, and some different ideas we can do to help you out. That's why Morgan and I are coaches. That's why we're here today for you. But as those questions are coming in, I've been going up with my wife Erin and our dog Coach Nora. Her name isn't officially Coach Nora, but a lot of you guys know her as Coach Nora. We've been going up Tahoe too, and we have been chipping away at the Tahoe Rim Trail, which is this 165-mile trail that goes all around Lake Tahoe, and it is awesome. We have done 65 or 70 miles of it so far. And it's been backpacking. So it's been kind of a fun adventure. Like, I think I love running and training because it's problem solving. You're like, oh, I'm doing an ultra, or oh, I'm trying to figure out like how to get faster and what shoes do I wear and what doesn't like bother my stomach for these short runs. Well, it's like, backpacking comes with its whole sling of things. It's like, how much weight do I carry? How much water? What food do I bring? Oh, I got to do fuel. And what's been funny is how we get Nora all set up and organized as well. We've got a little pack for her to carry some of her food and water. We figured out that she needs little trail booties, especially for some of the longer days. So we had to just like humans and shoes, not every shoe is going to fit every human. So it's like you have to, test a few and get a pair. We got this first pair that was like clown shoes, and she was like slapping around and didn't like them. And then we got this other pair that worked out real well. They're like little ultras for dogs.
Yes.
Zero drop.
I feel like we need to share that video somewhere, because if you guys haven't seen dogs walk around with the booties, they're kind of just like legs are going everywhere. They don't know how to walk, and Nate shared it with our team, and it was quite the fun time to watch Nora try to do it. But she looks like she's doing so much better in them now.
She's doing great. And in the beginning, she was all nervous Nelly, like, what are you doing to me putting these things on? And then she's like, oh, this is like trail time. Like, throw them on. Yeah. She's just like, puts her paws out, and she's just like, slip them on. But then the other thing we realized is like, oh, she's running around on sandy trails just like humans. You can get rocks in your shoes, and so she can get little like sand and rocks in hers. so we got to take them off every once in a while. There's a whole thing.
What a
And then,
pampered pup.
oh man, and then we have to kind of we have to keep her enthusiasm tempered in the first early miles because she wants to like chase every chipmunk and everything she sees on the trail. And if we let that go, we have to go 12 or 15 miles that day, and she's like cashed by mile 5 because she's just been sprinting.
So Coach Nora needs to work on her pacing.
She needs to work on her pacing.
Yes.
So we've been kind of keeping her on leash early on, and then when she starts tiring off, then we like kind of let her trot and sniff around. So that's been pretty good. But anyone who runs or hikes with their dogs, we're all ears for little tips and everything else.
That's perfect.
Yeah, right.
I have no tips for you because I only have cats and have yet to get the backpack with them. But that is my goal, is to go backpacking.
Oh man,
with the cats on the leash. So any tips around hiking with cats, please send them my way.
There has to be a human on this planet that has hiked with their cat before.
Oh, I follow so many Instagram accounts that you wouldn't even imagine. Half of my Instagram is like running, and the other half is dedicated to cats that are hiking. I follow a couple like famous cats that are like in Colorado, and they just like go on hikes with their owners and just like sniff around. It's great. So that's something a goal that I'm working towards.
Oh man, that's some good life goals right there. I'd love to know if there's like a cat that has hiked like the Appalachia Trail or something.
Oh, I'm sure there is. You can go down a really, really dark hole onto YouTube about cats and doing backpacking things. So I know what you're going to be doing this weekend.
Oh my God. That's funny. Well, we got some questions chiming in here, so we want to go and attack some of those things. So Johnny says, would you do speed work if you're not training for a specific event?
Yeah, I would. The non-training time, I wouldn't be super strict about it.
Mm-hmm.
I would be like a little bit more loosey-goosey. If I didn't get my speed work in, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I didn't do my track workout this week, right? Like, this is the time to set a different kind of goal for yourself. So maybe your goal is to get faster.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why not? But even if you're doing some longer distance stuff, if you still wanting to stay in good shape for the 2021 season, yeah, I suggest it, because that first track workout back, when you do start training again, you don't have to hit your PR and, go 10 out of 10 effort. Like, at least just try to get something and keep those legs turning over and stuff like that. So yeah. I definitely have been. So,
for me, I think, especially when a lot of our friends say, oh man, every day feels like the same. It's like weekdays versus weekends. It's all blah. Like, one of the things that's actually helped me differentiate the days in the week is by keeping a little structure to my running and keeping a speed day. I always do it on Wednesdays. It's a little bit of a highlight for me. And it's like, I can kind of be like, build up to Wednesday, and then I'm like, oh, I'm done after Wednesday. Yeah. And to your point, it doesn't necessarily need to be race specific if there's no races. So grinding away, doing terrible marathon tempo runs, maybe you don't need to. But I think for a lot of us, especially who don't necessarily tap into shorter, harder efforts, efforts of 1 to 3 minutes long, like, you can do a lot of damage with the type of work. And it's better for your run. Yeah, good damage. It's great for your run form and your mechanics. And, as Morgan said, like, you'll come off of this whole season feeling pretty well built, well rounded. And when you are ready to jump back into training, it is like you're firing on all cylinders.
Right. Like, you're going to feel strong, but not like that burnt out, like you just got done with a full intense training load, right? Like, just stay well rounded, essentially, add some stuff in. Like I said, I did hills before, but definitely adding them in now. I'm not killing myself on them, but like, it definitely, I've noticed a huge difference. So
I like that. And you mentioned this before too, but hills, if you're new to speed work, hills are a great way to initiate yourself and to start. The ground meets your feet. The impact isn't as hard on the body. It's a little bit more muscular, and it's they're great. You
can get a lot more done effort-wise, and like, workout wise in a shorter amount of time, right? Like the other day, we only had about enough time to do like 3-ish miles. So it's either we're going to go out and do like a 3-mile shakeout, which the benefit of that is like, okay, maybe I get a little recovery day in there, or we're going to go do laps on this hill over here. That's a half mile to the top. We do 3 laps of the hill. That's 3 miles. We're done.
Yep.
And we got a great workout in because we were, cruising up the hill. So.
Yeah, and for those of you guys who are like limited on time, that's a great way to go too. I really like that. That kind of segues into this next question, and I feel like you can personally answer this, Morgan. Is the San Francisco a hilly marathon compared to other city marathons?
Compared to others, yes. It's got, I want to say it's like 1,300 feet of elevation gain. It's like right around there, which, for 26 miles in a trail race, no, that's not hilly. But like there are some good hills in there. There are some like really shorter ones, but like that you can power up through. But there are also some like longer, grueling ones. Because if you don't know San Francisco, you go all the way down to the ocean, to the ocean beach, and you have to come back up. So obviously when you leave the ocean, you tend to have to go uphill. And the park is 4-ish miles long, and you have to go all the way from the bottom all the way to the top. And it doesn't really ever seem like that when I'm like running through the park, but yeah, it's definitely a hill, like a 4-mile long hill essentially for the marathon. So
yeah. In contrast, I just looked this up. The Boston Marathon, which is famous for its hills, has 655 feet of elevation gain and about 1,000 feet of loss. Of course, it's a point-to-point race, so it starts inland and then drops down to sea level. But the SF Marathon is about double the elevation of Boston, so that's real.
It's very real.
That's really real. Let's see here. Oh, very cool. Kelly says, my 11-mile mountain race, as well as the 22 and 33 miles, are still on Sunday, September 6th. Jay Peak in Vermont, gorgeous resort, still taking registrations. Well, Kelly, that's good to know. For you guys in New England, it looks like you may have some trail races that are happening. And yeah, you're just starting to get, it's like probably early fall time, but that's September is always a great month in New England.
Oh, yes. Yes, we're both New Englanders originally. So, yes, I have family lives up in Vermont, and that is a gorgeous time up there. Still decent weather, you haven't missed the snow quite yet. Yeah.
Sharon asks, on to us some other questions. And guys, we're almost to revealing the results of who works harder, road versus trail runners, which is really the debate. I think this is really a bit more about like who you like better, me or Morgan. And I don't think I'm going to do very well, but we'll really see. But Sharon asks, hey, what's the best exercise for upper leg soreness? Been doing the lacrosse ball and just bought a foam roller and stick. So she's got all the toys. What do you think?
Well, upper leg, I'm like, is that your hips or your glutes? Yeah, that's a broader question, but yeah, I will normally start out with the foam roller and like kind of get like a broad massage. I always say this to people like when they're talking about like doing mobility. It's like if you go in for a massage and it's like, oh, everything's like really relaxed, and she's in there, she's like, okay, I'm gonna start now. She doesn't start by just like elbow right into your back and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like going for a run. You gotta warm up. So making sure that either you're going to do a warm up, like you'd go for a little jog or something like that, or you're taking like I have one right here, the stick foam rollers, taking one of these and just like lightly rolling out a little bit and then start to work deeper, because you're not even going to be able to really get down into those like tighter muscles if they're not like warmed up and loose and like can move your way in there. So yeah, we have a lot on our channel. There's depending on what you mean by upper leg.
Totally,
so.
That's a good point. Sometimes, and this happens with this massage as well. If someone is putting pressure in your body where you don't want, you'll just get tight, and you'll actually you'll flex so much that they actually can't penetrate that muscle at all, and that can happen to yourself. So easing into things is great, focusing on your breath, starting with something wider diameter before you go to even more narrow. And as Morgan's point is, we want to be a little more specific about our upper leg? Is it the front? Is it your quad and your hip flexors? Or is it in the back? Is it like where your hamstring inserts and behind into the glutes? But either way, focusing on that. And we do have some great stuff, not only on our YouTube channel, but we have a whole injured runner program in our app where you can, by body part, get specific mobility and strength workouts based on your level of injury, from 1, very injured, limping around, 2, moderate, to 3, it's just, the early signs, or you're on your way out of injury and returning to normal training.
And once again, link down in the bio for our app down there, guys, so you can check that out.
That's right. YouTube flash sale, guys, today and tomorrow. Flash, crazy. Jump in for $99. It's a great deal. You will love. You couldn't even do all the programs we had in a year. Like, we have so much stuff, and we're always adding it in there. You will be busy. And given our virtual training realities, I think it is definitely a welcome thing. We're going to talk a little bit later about what we've been doing for strength training. I mean, both Morgan and I enjoy going to the gym. We both work with coaches that help us on our strength training. So we're going to talk about what we're doing in the second half of the show. But right now, things are about to get real. We need to know who works harder officially. And the cool thing is that we had a debate, but you guys voted in the comments. So Morgan, what do you got?
So in the debate, Nate and I went over who works harder, trail runners versus road runners. Nate was team road runners, and I came on the side of team trail runners. We posted it in our YouTube channel, and we also posted it on our Instagram page as well, too. And I got in there, and I was looking around, and I responded to most of you. So hi, it's me. And it was overwhelmingly in the trail runners' favor of who works harder. I tallied it the other day, and it was something around the lines of like 150-ish me, and like, I'm going to be like generous and say 30, Nate, I want to say maybe.
What?
That might be generous even.
I got beat that bad. Oh my
It was
gosh.
pretty bad. I was real nervous. As soon as the video came out, I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this. And it was like trail.
You guys.
Yeah, sorry, Nate, but
man.
like trail. And I was like, I don't even need to watch the rest of this. So this is great.
You all got sucked in by their trail gaiters and their running poles and all their gear.
Distracted
Get out of here.
you.
Yes,
all
thank you, Ronnie.
Views.
Road runners. Now, that's where the votes are. Hey, I got 2 more votes for road. We got to count those.
Oh, sorry, 32 now. So there.
32. Okay, so I have to do 50 burpees, which I'm now going to do.
And
thanks, everyone.
I'm going to sit back and take a little stretch break.
You guys can help me keep count. All right, here we go.
We can keep count and make sure we can check on Nate's form here as well, too.
Should you time me on our burpees here?
Oh, yeah, let's do that. That'll be good.
I'm going to take my glasses off.
Yeah, don't lose those. All right.
Anyone want to do 50 burpees with me? All you road runners that didn't back me up?
Fun challenge.
All right, here we go.
And we're going.
1.
Yeah, you got to say it out loud because I might lose a little bit of count over here. While I am just hanging out,
3.
I'll take a sip of my...
4.
Yes, rest days are the best. If you guys are just watching in with us right now, you see me just hanging out, and well, there's Coach Nora. She's watching Nate's form for his burpees in our debate. She's having a rest day as well too. Nora is a trail runner, I would say, not much of a road runner. Definitely trails, so she doesn't have to do burpees either.
That's 10.
So close.
12.
And yeah, if there's I saw we had the one comment about anyone doing javelina. Anyone else's, like, let us know. So it's actually going to be my first 100 miler and Coach Holly's first 100 miler. We did not plan that. That just, it kind of happened that way. It's a great race over in Arizona, and I'm really excited for it. It's like a really fun party. It's on Halloween. So a little spooky action as well too. So let me know if you guys are going or out that way.
Are you gonna do 50 burpees during the Javelina 100? That's 20.
No. This isn't a Spartan race, so no, I will not be doing burpees during my race. I will be happy that I make it to the finish line, really. It's gonna be warm too, and
Halfway.
just training right now in San Francisco when it's been like 60 in the summertime is like, ooh. We've been trying to go a little north and go to Tahoe, as I said earlier, to get a little bit of heat training.
29. 30.
Which needs to work on his burpees a little bit here, guys. We were just talking about going into strength training.
Oh my god.
You're at 2 minutes.
Have you ever done a Spartan race? I know. Oh, I gotta keep going. Okay.
Yeah, you're on the timer. I have not personally, but I live with a Spartan racer, so I feel like I can't say that. I really can't. I was training for one. That was actually one of my goals for 2020 was to do my first Spartan race.
They're fun. The spear.
Yeah, the burpees are really making me. Yes,
oh man, I'm 0 for 2 on the spear.
Yeah, we have a spear actually to practice with at the house. So,
of course you do.
Of course we do. Along with all of our other toys. Yes, because that's one of the more like. It's not a challenging obstacle, right?
42.
So not challenging physically, right? It's like it's a technique thing. So it's easy to like go out and just like do repetitive practice with it. Got 3 minutes here, Nate.
45.
He's just taking his time over here.
46.
This is what roadrunners get for not working hard earlier. So now he has to work hard now, and I get to now relax. I've worked really hard this week doing my trail run. So 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
Oh,
if you were,
I'll take that.
In case you like want to go do it tomorrow or something and test yourself. Good job,
Good job, Coach. So, fun little story, memory in the early CrossFit years when they started the CrossFit Games and they did the Open. They would release workouts on Thursday. Everyone had to do the same one all over. And they really mixed it up. But I remember it was either the first year or the second year, but one of the workouts was 7 minutes of burpees. And you just go.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone had even like pondered the mind
what that was going to be. Yeah.
That was. Because at one level you're like, oh, I can run for 7 minutes. Like, not a big deal.
Yeah. 7 minutes, you can do anything except for burpees, maybe.
Yeah. But burpees, you're like, that is forever. It was so gnarly. I think I did like 104, 103 or 104, something like that. Some people did 130, but I was like, I've never done 100 burpees before. That was crazy. Oh my God.
Well,
I'm good. Kelly says, tell Nate the network died and he needs to start over. No, I know how many I counted. Screw you people.
We couldn't really see. If you could actually just back up a little bit so we could watch your form, you know.
I like the in-close shot so you couldn't see. Oh, man.
See the pain on your face.
God. Running Geek Girl says, Nate earns a beer. I did earn a beer. I agree. I know. It doesn't take too much. My wife's throwing me shade in the corner. She's like, can you jump higher on those burpees, please? Can you do those things? You know? Oh, man. So, we lost Roadrunners. You guys need a little bit more.
Yeah, you just got to work harder. That's really all it is.
This is crap. Okay. So, we need a rematch.
I'm saying this,
we
guys,
need a rematch, clearly.
Yeah. I am both teams. So, I think that you should do both into your training. But, you know, I feel like when I go out on the trail, I probably work harder than want to go out on the roads. Just like, take that
I
with
have
a
to
grain of
say,
salt.
if you're in the Bay Area, especially, you are definitely both.
You can't
Run
not
and run and
be.
trail. Mo says beer mile incoming. Oh man, what should we do? What should be our next debate? You guys let us know in the comments
Yeah.
what we should
What
do.
do
We
you
would
guys
love to
want to
hear
see
your
us debate?
ideas for our next. Who works harder? Who's better? I don't know. Who's superior?
Because now that Nate and I we haven't seen each other since March almost in person.
Yeah,
I
pretty
think so,
much.
right? So as we both said, it was quite fun to like argue into the GoPro at the other person while they're not
Mm-hmm.
there and they don't actually have a say in what you're saying. So it was quite fun. A fun little experiment that we got to work with there.
I know,
So
and
if there's
it's
anything you guys want to see.
yeah, and I think because of the ongoing conditions where we're all kind of filming in an isolated way, we're so used to filming together. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been an adjustment, but there has been some good kind of fun content that's come out of it.
Yeah. Like I don't know if we would have thought of doing that
I don't know
before all
either.
this. So yeah.
I know. No, we'll have to think of the next one. But speaking of other projects, I know that Aaron and I, as we said earlier, we want to finish the Tahoe Rim Trail. We're going to try to finish it in the next month. So we might go up another weekend or two,
Yeah.
do some segments, and then hike the final 60 miles. There's no FKTs for us. We're not trying to do any fastest known time. Although I have to say, it was really funny. One of the guys over the 4th of July who set the fastest known time, who's unsupported, is a guy named Kyle Curtin. It's like 8:30 at night. We've hiked 16 miles that day. We actually brought in Nalgene wine and to just try to enjoy our hiking and our 4th of July. And it's like 8:30. I'm well into the wine, and this dude who's very kitted up and like racer mode, it gets lost off trail and just like runs right through our camp. But we're like, what's this guy doing? He's like, oh, I'm running around the lake. And I'm like, what?
Just a little run, just like a quick loop around the lake.
Yeah. And the coolest thing he did was, when people do these types of runs, they get support, which doesn't take anything away from their effort, but they don't have to carry as much stuff. They have people coming to check on them. They might have people run with them too for pacing. Yep. This guy did the whole thing, I'm pretty sure, solo and carrying all of his gear for 165 miles. So he didn't carry all his water. He was able to stop and filter some, but all his food, I was like, that's gnarly.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's been some cool stuff going on that has come out of this, as we said with our filming. Like, there may be people who are doing things right now that weren't going to do them before. There's a lot of FKTs, fastest known times, being set right now. So it's pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen, there's this ultra runner, her name's Courtney DeWalter, and she is currently running in Colorado, 500 miles worth of trails. She's not doing it solo, but because that's kind of crazy. But yeah, 500-mile race. She's going for their overall FKT, and there's a live tracking that I saw. If you guys want to check it out.
Oh yeah.
She's sponsored by Solomon, and I think they've been covering it pretty well. And Jameel Curry of Run Steep Get High, I think he was out there following her quite a bit as well too. So you can check and see the live tracking. But 500-mile, literally a 500-mile race against herself.
That is so crazy. 500 miles. That would take me. That's so much running.
It's so much. But she is also yeah.
I remember a couple years ago, I was like, oh man, I logged 1,000 miles this year. I'm kind of stoked with that.
Oh, yeah.
She did that, that was She's 6 months of my running. She did that, just like that.
She's doing it in a couple of days, I believe, so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That is super gnarly. Well, you are also planning on taking advantage of some of these cool virtual events and challenges. And guys, we would love to hear what virtual events or challenges you're trying or you're excited about, or even things you think we should do as coaches. But you're kind of fired up about the Battle of the Bay.
Yeah.
That's on Strava, and specifically one of the routes.
Well, there's a couple of different routes. So if you guys don't know, once again, I'm here in San Francisco Bay, and the Battle of the Bay, if you want to go check out the website, it's battleofthebay.run. A couple of local runners here in the city created this, and it's a battle between the bays, the North Bay, so across the Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco Bay Area, which you would call San Francisco the city, South Bay, and then the East Bay, so Oakland, Berkeley, all of that. And you can choose your team, generally it's where you live. And they have posted, I want to say it's 8 routes, but don't quote me on that because I can't remember. They were
I thought there was like a long one and a shorter one for like each area. Exactly,
yeah. And so there's this one cool one that I'm really excited about. But so you can sign up for your team and go try to get the overall FKT from August to November. So they're giving you a lot of time. There's 8 different routes. Some of them are as short as, there's one over in the Mission that's like 1.5 or 1.7 miles or something like that. Yeah. And then the longest one is 32 miles. So it's very inclusive, right? Like there's not just all huge long trail segments that are going up and around. But there's one cool one that I'm pretty excited about that I want to go try. It's the Crosstown Trail. And so if you know, San Francisco kind of looks a little peninsula there like that. And it goes from the bottom above the airport. I forget what the little out peak is here, but it comes all the way up to the corner by the Golden Gate Bridge towards Land's End and the beach. And it goes up and over every single little peak. It's called the Crosstown Trail in San Francisco. And it's pretty cool. You can actually, there's a whole, it's not even a route on Strava, it's a segment. And, segments are normally like the little guys. But if you like zoom out, you can see it go all the way across. And
how long is it?
16-ish miles.
Yeah.
And there's like over 2,000 feet of gain.
Okay.
Or like right around 2,000, I think.
Yeah.
Clearly, I need to do a little bit more research before I go out and do it. But there's only a couple females who have done it, or people in general who have done it, but females specifically. And so I'm really looking forward to going out there and maybe even doing like a little video for you guys so you can follow along and stuff like that. We'll see what happens. But there's a lot of cool, fun routes that, you sometimes, especially during that first time of quarantine when everyone's like, you have to stay inside and like you can't really drive anywhere. So you get very set in your ways, just kind of like, okay, I'm going to go out and do this route or this route. And I have like a couple in my pocket that I'm just like, go out and do. And this is like, these are in my area. There's like not more than like maybe an hour of driving that's required for all of these. I'm like, this is so cool. Like it's fun routes that I didn't have to plan. Right? Like, I'm not like, oh, is this like, do I turn this way? Or like, okay, maybe I don't know these areas, right? I only really know my San Francisco area and then North Bay. So it's really cool. And I'm really excited to go out and like try new fun trails. And I get to compete because you get to like upload your stats every day. And like you can see who's the leaderboard for each of these segments. And it's really cool. And it's really fun. And it's just like kind of like a different kind of racing. And I feel like that's one of the more fun things that I've seen.
And you get to sort of... Yeah, and then you kind of recognize some of the other names for the local communities. You can see the other runners who are out there doing it. I think that's really cool. Sharon asks, did you guys do the I Lost My Heart in San Francisco race the other week? I did the 10K.
Oh, nice.
I didn't even know that there was a race in the city.
It was a virtual.
Oh, virtual race. Okay.
Yeah, it was I lost my heart in San Fran. RUN in
San Francisco. Oh, that's pretty good.
Yep. You could do any distance that you wanted to. I actually saw a bunch of you if you were out there. I was down at the farmer's market on Sunday morning, but they were hosting like a little cheer station, kind of the guy who put it on. So that was cool. Yeah. I didn't do it. I mean, I think I signed up for it, but I don't know if I think I ran that distance, but I didn't like train for I didn't go out and do a hard 5K or 10K. Yeah.
Yeah. No, totally. How many of you guys did our Strava challenge, our Earn Your Miles Strava challenge we did in June? That was really fun. We'll have to do another one of those things. It was a little bit of a different challenge, a little bit more up our alley, rather than challenge you guys to run. A lot of you guys got that taken care of. We had you focus on mobility or strength and kind of logging that at least a couple times a week. And seeing how that went. And if you didn't know, guys, we actually have a pretty rockin' club on Strava. We post little updates in there every once in a while. You can keep track of our sharing. Like I actually don't personally do that much on social media these days. I'm just so busy with making programs and videos for the run experiences. Like I'm exhausted. Like Morgan, I don't know how you do it with your own, but like Strava is like my one little outlet where I'll share some like personal photos and just some other stuff what's going on. Like you can see the hikes we've done. You can see Nora decked out in her little booties and everything, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. I will say I did not complete our challenge.
You didn't get the badge?
I didn't know.
Oh man, the badge was cool too. Let me see if I can pull it up. We'll have to do it again.
I know. I was a little lacking in my strength training sessions, so.
Yeah, we were going to talk about strength. So, how has the strength been for you?
So, kind of before, I know, that was fun.
Look at that. Look at that Strava badge. Look how cool that is. Boom.
Right before we started to go into lockdown, I kind of took up another sport of rock climbing and was starting to go to the gym because we have, luckily in San Francisco, we have a couple different
awesome
gyms.
Rock gym.
There's one that's pretty close to my house. So I was going there and was definitely starting to feel like the upper body strength kind of come back. I was a pole vaulter back in high school and in college. So like that like pull motion, pull up all the back and stuff like that. And it was so much fun. And we were doing it for like a couple months. And, you know, obviously now the gym's closed, which once again was like almost an opportunity because I had never done outdoor rock climbing. I'd only been in the gym. So we've been doing that a lot. And on our trips to Tahoe, we'll go run and then we'll try to find a boulder somewhere and do a little session there. And
is there like a Strava for rock climbing? Like, how do you know where to go?
I'm very new to this, but it's Mountain Project, and like you can essentially it's kind of like that. You like log where it is, the different routes and or problems that there are going up, and like the difficulty of them, where you can like get in, and you can like leave little notes on there, kind of like All Trails for like running. There's like another app, but it has like more routes on it rather than Strava, like the segments. Yeah, and that's been really fun. But we've been being able to go outdoors, so I want to be stronger because I want to be able to like get more than just like this far off the ground.
How has it felt with your running?
It's felt really good because especially going up and doing a little bit more of this trail running, you know, you're bent over a little bit more, like kind of using your arms to push up. And I don't feel as much like shoulder, like that rolling over, kind of hunched over. I definitely feel like I can keep my arms at my side a little bit more and really use them for a little bit more power. So we have a pull-up bar, thankfully, in here. Nice. Yes. So we did a Murph in our apartment. Yeah.
So first of all, that is crazy on so many levels that, you know, like Murph is this crazy CrossFit workout. It's a hero workout. You run a mile. You do 100 pull-ups. 100 pull-ups.
100.
100 pull-ups. It's so many.
200.
200 push-ups.
Push-ups. 300 squats with a weight vest. And then another mile run at the end.
And then another mile run, easy with a weight vest. And Morgan did it.
Yeah. I will say that my pull-ups were chin-ups.
Still.
And I had like a little bit of a jump at the bottom because like it's in our doorway, right. And like I can kip kind of, and if you guys, it's like this weird like this kind of motion for a pull-up. It's not just like strict pull-ups, and you can't really do it in a doorway because it's like just the one that hooks over the door, and like if you pull out on it, you're gonna fall. So but I live in a studio here in San Francisco, so like no excuses. That's all we needed was a pull-up bar.
I miss a pull-up bar. We did over Memorial Day, which is traditional when we do a lot of these hero workouts. Murph has been a traditional one. My wife and I did it. We had to do it in our backyard. So we put a band next to a fence, and we did kind of like lat pull-downs instead of pull-ups. But we still did our push-ups and squats, and hey, still hard. That's right. As Michael says, chin-ups still count. I
Yeah,
know.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's gnarly, but it's a fun workout. But that's like when I feel like you kind of have to build up to a little bit. That's like a 20-mile run. It's like you could go out and just do 20 miles, but it goes better if you've done some 10 and 15-mile runs along the way.
Yeah. Don't do what I did. And we talked about doing it because it's over Memorial Day, and not that we couldn't have done it the next weekend or
Mm,
whatever. But I didn't own a weight vest, and my fiance did, and he's like, Amazon, look what
nice.
I got you.
Hey, look at that.
um, uh, so my first time in the weight vest was the Murph. So that was
I've never
interesting.
done it with a weight vest. I think that's crazy.
Oh, you have to.
No.
And when the guys
No,
do
actually,
it,
that's a thing. You don't have to.
no, I had to.
Totally
I had
voluntary.
to. The guys, in case you guys are wondering, is 20 pounds, and the girls traditionally for like the CrossFit, like the games, like
Yeah.
officially the guys is 20 and the girls is 14
Oh
and 10
man.
pounds. So like,
It's
just like
just
starting out here in my CrossFit
that's a
career.
lot. That's a lot of push-ups. I mean, that's a lot of
Oh my,
pull-ups. That's a
I did
lot
a
of
lot on my
everything.
knees.
Yeah,
A lot of push-ups from the knees.
totally. I like to do a lot of rolling through there. Well, guys, we have a few more minutes left. Just hitting up the comments real quick. Green Gypsy Bird says,
Yeah.
"Hey, I had climbing on my 2020 bucket list. Then I went out the window." Mo says that badge looks fire. Dakar gives us a super chat, $5. Thank
Oh,
you for being
thank you.
excellent with my PT test. Super cool. Milky mentions Valley Uprising. That's a really cool Netflix documentary. And then, of
Yes.
course, what's the one that I'm thinking of?
With Alex Honnold.
Free Solo.
Yes.
Crazy. If you guys haven't
Yeah.
seen that, watch it tonight. It is so good.
I look
Um,
absolutely nothing like that. In case that's like if you're going to use that as your standard, like don't look at anyone else. Essentially.
yeah. Russ says, "Hey, at 70, I don't think I've done that many pull-ups in my life." Yeah.
Maybe that's a new 2021 goal.
Hey, never too late to start any of this stuff. And actually, we do it. We can do it. Do pull-ups with a band or
Yeah.
assisted or whatever. I've got some rings in the back
Yeah.
patio for doing like some ring rows. We could maybe kind of do
Yeah.
push-ups, pull-ups with that. Maybe.
And maybe and like okay, I was doing this for time just to like essentially have fun, right? Like I know it sounds it's my type of fun, but
Mm-hmm.
who is it? Is it Joe DeSena from Spartan who
Mm-hmm.
always is like talking about like set a goal for yourself of doing 100 push-ups in a day. He is not saying you have to get down on the ground and do 100 push-ups. Do 10 every hour.
Mm-hmm.
You can do 10. You can do 10 every hour, and then you get done at the day and you accomplished 100 push-ups.
Yeah, you can
Boom.
sneak a lot in there. That'll definitely keep
Yeah.
you awake as you're
Yeah.
in that mid-afternoon little doldrums that we tend to
Yeah.
hit a little bit there.
There's so many benefits of doing that, and I think that's one of the other things that's like keeping me not maybe motivated, a little motivated like
Yeah.
throughout the day. Yeah. So
I love it. Well, you're fired up, which in turn fires me up and keeps me honest with my training. We'll have to keep going. Guys, I got a little early preview of one of Morgan's videos that is coming out next week. Thoughts on running a virtual marathon. It is really fun. You guys will enjoy it in a big way, coming out on Wednesday. Man, it's getting towards the end of Friday. Are you going to
Ugh.
Tahoe this weekend?
I think we are. We don't have any definite plans yet because we like to like plan like as soon as we get up, like, where are we going?
That's awesome.
We just kind of like shoot and decide on the way. So it's great.
Hey, that's great. Well, we're probably going to go up next weekend, get a little bit more camping and hiking in.
Nice.
But guys, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
It's so fun to hang out with you guys. We're trying to do these, kind of monthly right now. It's like some nice check-ins with you guys. Remember, we have our live 30-day challenge happening the end of this month. It starts August 30th. It also happens to be my birthday. We are going to have some pretty bomb prizes for those who score or improve their 30-minute run, their max push-ups in 60 seconds, and their max hollow body hold. Because we're trying to not only get you ready to be a runner, but get you to be a pretty darn strong human. It's all going
Yeah.
in our app. It's going to be super fun, and it's kind of the perfect thing to do right now. Connect with us, train, build some really good habits. And Morgan, we got a flash sale going on, don't we?
Yeah. If you guys want to join that and be a part of our app, check down in the description below. You can join us and do all the fun things. Nate, what's the prices on our flash sale right now?
It's $99 for the year. Normally
What?
$119.99 for the annual thing. You get a little deal, you jump in, and you will absolutely love it. We got so many great training. If you guys are injured, we got a great injured runner program. For those of you guys who want audio runs, we've got audio runs coaching you through. We've got great strength programs. You can talk to us directly. We're in there all the time answering your questions. So, it's super fun. All we need is a rock climbing program in there. I think that's really
And
the only
no,
thing that's missing.
I'll work on it. And, we're giving you this discount, guys, because we really just want to hang out with you. We're like, I only get to talk to Nate. So, looking for some more people to hang out with, really.
Seriously, we got to expand our social circle these days.
I think so.
But anyway, guys, that link is in the description down below. I'll drop it in the
Check it
comments
out.
one more time. Enjoy your Friday. Go out and run this weekend or not, but we will be out there in
Enjoy
spirit
yourselves.
with you.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.